We open on a grand medieval city built into the side of a towering mountain range. A tower made of dark steel rises from the city center, and behind it, overlooking the city of Ashbourne in its entirety, is a palace of white, blue, and gold. One of the palace's upper windows is open, and a young girl is peering out of it. She has bright blue eyes and long, curled blonde hair that is held in place by a golden circlet, decorated with the finest of sapphires, marking her to be Princess Thala Evermore, second in line to the throne after her brother Rain. Next to her, a brightly colored purple and orange monkey peers out into the world as well. Royal purple top hat held in place with practice ease. Her familiar, Decilia. The spirit's mouth splits into a wide grin. "What's wrong, Tele?" The princess's eyes flicked to her companions. "Father received words from the Knights Patrol. The Kingmaker has been found, and they're bringing it to the capital." "Don't tell me you're scared." "Not of it, no." She shook her head. "But everyone is hungry. Father for stability, Mother for change, the people for peace, Brother for honor, Holy Mother for power. I'm afraid the capital will eat it alive." "You don't want to crack at it, then?" Decilia spoke, miming a crown on her head. "I did say everyone was hungry, didn't I? I suppose I'm no different." "And what are you craving, then?" Thala turned to fully look at Decilia, who was now resting in a more human-like form, translucent skin, white as snow, with fiery orange hair, adding a soft, glow to the room, and gave her a rare smile. "Honesty, I suppose. I'm searching for honesty."
It's a magical, mystical time. It's anecdotal adventures.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of City of Mist Kingmakers. I am your Master of Ceremonies Ashley, and these are my players.
Hi, I'm Cassidy, and I'm playing Mattius, Rift of the Greek Titan, Typhon.
Hello, and I am playing the Rift of Nemesis.
I am Sonya. I am playing Emma, the Rift of Athena.
I'm Juno. I'm playing Jane, the Rift of Hera.
Hello, I'm Simon. I'm playing Aron, whose Rift is King David.
I am Celina. I'm playing Mara Galanis. I'm the Rift of Hades.
Okay, and with that, let's jump right into it. Where we left off, Baroness Swan and her companion Marquess Wolfgar Ward are beginning to enter the room, having made some light conversation with Levithia already, who's in the hallway. Due to Mouse's, Wolfgard's familiar's insistence at not speaking with a court member present. And as soon as the door opens, Mouse turns back into that owl-rat hybrid thing that it was when it entered the room. The dice that were swirling around it click into place around a necklace. And it hops onto Wolfgar's shoulders. Wolfgar is an older man with graying black hair, dark skin, very bright, almost startlingly so, green eyes. And Baroness Lavina is very much his opposite. Pale skin, dark eyes, and blonde hair. With very pointed features. Wolfgar leans over to his familiar. "I hope you didn't toy with them too badly." "Nonsense! We made a perfectly reasonable transaction and discussed fairness." "I'm sure. I apologize for any of the misgivings Mouse might have put upon you." "Misgivings? I was nothing but entirely honest."
A little too honest, if I would say myself.
That is the thing. You do not understand. Reticence, perhaps, is the word. Or maybe the value in keeping silent, Mouse. Ah, nonsense. They love me already.
We literally,
Adalai gives him the
I'm gonna
look.
point to Ezekiel. He literally called you creepy.
The highest of compliments.
You're a very skewed little rat thing.
Oh, I thank you, Mrs. Ponteva. Again, I apologize if Mouse has been less than discreet with you. And Lavina will make her way forward and give you a curtsy. It's a pleasure to meet you all.
So it is a thing.
My name is Baroness Lavina Swan. And at this, Wolfgar will give a short bow. Marquess Wolfgar Ward, at your service.
I curtsy. Just to be an ass.
I curtsy too, but politely.
I bow.
Adalai holds out her hand to shake.
I'm totally vibing with Emma right now. Like, as soon as she bows, I give you, I'm like...
This is an audio medium.
I give her the nod.
Yeah, I nod back.
So, Lavina will shake your hand, Adalai. And she will take a seat at one of the plush chairs around the room, and Wolfgar will make himself comfortable as well.
Okay, I will slowly settle into one of them.
Lavina looks at the books. I see you've made yourself more acquainted with our history in your waiting time. A valid effort.
Considering we know nothing about this place, I thought it would be a good idea to start researching.
It's smart of you. Knowledge is power, after all. In any case, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintances as Kingmakers. The Vithia spoke to me to tell me of your goals to become acquainted with the many kingdoms and countries, and the countrymen that make them home of Lothara while you are here. A noble goal.
Additionally, we are trying to find the rest of our friends.
Yes, it is a tragedy to hear that you have been separated.
That didn't feel sincere.
But it is a pleasure to meet you in any case. But while you are here, I will field any questions that you might have.
What's up with the pamphlets?
The books?
Yes, the books read like a pamphlet.
I'm afraid I do not know which two you are referring. And I gave you a brief summary, I say, as an MC, unless you wanted me to actually read the literal books I wrote about these countries. You don't.
You wrote books about these countries.
I wrote many, many pages about each of these countries.
She already has a binder, guys.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, true.
Now, what I mean is, why are they so redacted? Like, I understand the whole empire taking over and trying to make history look more better in their image. Is that the reason, or?
Well, most of the books that are for common knowledge readers have been, shall I say, carefully selected. There is very much information that is considered forbidden knowledge to bear.
Why?
Even for us?
Yeah,
Perhaps
why?
not. It is just the books that I'm sure my servant thought free to gab. There are plenty in my library that are not so discreet in matters of war. But to more reasons why it should be considered, I believe, as Levithia would say, unholy. To possess such knowledge in the night.
Then during the day, it would be
Can we
appropriate.
read them during the day?
Yes.
When most people read.
But unfortunately, to possess the knowledge would be considered sacrilegious.
Oh, so it's something you guys did bad in history.
What if you're not a part of the religion?
then it doesn't matter.
Which you've
second
made yourself clear you're
Adalai.
not. I do not consider myself particularly religious either. I have many such books in my library. I'm sure my one of my servants that grabbed them for you just did not feel that they were safe to grab without my permission.
So the sisters are controlling the amount of knowledge that the public has?
They maintain all the libraries. She says that and she looks right at Holy Sister Levithia,
Wow.
who meets her stare right back.
I wonder,
That's
in Earth's history, how many good people ever controlled the media? Let me think.
Not a lot.
I cannot think of a single person.
All right. So we're going to tone that conversation down. This is a whole different
Are
world
we?
for us.
Are we?
Yes.
You
Yeah,
can
it's a whole different world, and we're getting a.
you can make comparisons to your own realm all you like.
It's
I
not
do
like
not-
they know anything about our history. Do you know much about our history?
I know nothing of where you come from.
Haha. Maybe you do deserve those $20 back.
It's $20. It's like not even important here.
Fair.
And Levithia looks a little put off by Lavinna immediately throwing the court under the proverbial bus.
But if we are supposed to get a pretty unbiased view of this world, I'm gonna look back at Sister Levithia, and I'm gonna gesture to the table.
There are many books in our court that are not unsanctioned knowledge, but it is the facets of our religion. It's written in the Song of Shadows. It is not.
Aron, was it written in the Song of Shadows?
Yes, it was. Knowledge of violence and the knowledge that you committed an act of violence could be just as dangerous in the night as it would be doing it, actually committing those acts of violence in the day.
Well, that seems kind of.
so violence is considered a sin here,
Even knowing how to kill is considered bad?
and knowing the history of people who were killed.
Where
It
do you
depends
draw
on
the
the
line
person.
between self-defense and... Like, is
It's
Yeah.
not for us
self-defense?
to know. There are, of course, public trial systems, but they do not rely on the court, on our court, the Court of Stars, to make decisions. They rely on the
Right,
laws
but
of their
you-
nations.
Yeah, but I'm having an issue with the whole not telling people the history thing, because like the whole history repeats itself. Does everyone else get what I'm getting at?
Yeah,
Yes.
I see it too.
I actually rather like learning about actual history.
Levithia is getting more and more irritated as the conversation goes on. Lavinna looks entirely pleased with herself, watching Levithia squirm.
But, and I'm just saying, I feel like that was like a very targeted thing to say on your part. I'm gonna point to the Baroness.
Well, you wanted both sides of the story, didn't you? And I'm sure many other peoples will say nothing but horrendous things about the Court of Stars. You will eventually make your way to the dynasty, and you cannot hide our history with peoples of the Salbana forever.
Of what? The people of what?
The Salbana. Dark Eyes. They are
Avatar.
the keepers of the Belinaran dynasty, as well as the tribes of Blood and Bone to the southeast.
That sounds kind of epic.
Violent. But I'm sure many a great story has stemmed from their tribe, just as many a terrible one.
Oh,
Interesting.
the
And are they able to use magic?
No, Salbana are unfortunately unable to use any magic.
they were we read the book. Me and Aron read the book, and they were to be pitied.
Starless among the court, they cannot go to the Astra Mother's afterlife. They are cut off from magic and her touch.
How do you know that?
Interesting.
They cannot use magic, and it is clear by...
So only humans that can use magic can go to the afterlife?
No,
Is that what you're implying here?
no. But all of her brightest stars have been mages.
Uh-huh.
This is how the tiniest stars aren't the candles or...
Yeah, you can't really paint.
Handlings, of course, possess brightest of magic.
And I assume the Candlings are unable to commit war crimes.
There have been very few Candling criminals, but that is mostly because they maintain themselves in Briar's End. They do not leave their forest. If that is to what you are referring. There have been many Candling Knight, though, as well. Seekers, I believe they call them in the woods.
Now I got a question about how y'all treat knights. Because I see that we've got a few servicemen over here.
Are we, like, pulling up the veteran talk? Is that what's happening? Like, how do you treat your veterans?
No.
You guys have, like, an equivalent of Memorial's Day over here?
No. The possession of knowledge of violence in wars.
Oh yeah, because knights should know how to do that.
Yeah.
There is a specific sect of the church that bears knighthood. Knight of Stars, the Order of the Stars, I believe they are called in the Everin Empire. The other orders of the knights are not religiously associated.
But so the knights that work for your court, are they not allowed to do any violent acts at all because your religion?
They are encouraged to find pacifistic routes to solve problems before violence. Violence is a last resort.
No, that's fair. I like that better.
That's fine.
Everything. I'm gonna lean over to Emma again. Is this giving you the heebie-jeebies a little bit? I'm getting the
Yeah.
The
Jane is
vibes
gonna listen
are
in.
not on.
House leans forward. We can all hear you. You're bad at whispering.
Can I roll a vibe check?
Vibe check.
You're very bad at whispering, and this room is quite small.
Jane is going to turn to Lavinia. I think that in order to make a good educated decision on how we should pick, we should reasonably be able to know the knowledge about the past and wars of this country. So I'm going to request that you allow us to look at that at some point in time.
You're not staying in Ferris Point for very long, and I cannot let you wander off with my books, but while you are here, I would happily allow you access to my library.
That would be appreciated.
Could you give us like a crash course, like that?
Crash course history?
Yeah, which one of the Green brothers was that? The what? Which one of them?
Don't remember.
One who lives in Carmel.
That's not very helpful. We're trying to remember the name, dude. There were two. They're the Green brothers, right?
Yeah.
And there's
one's the writer.
John.
John Green, right? Something like that?
Yeah.
John.
John Green.
Yeah, like, this doesn't make any sense to you. Can you just, like, give us the most important pieces, and then I'm gonna turn to Sister Lavithia.
Maybe with some illustrations.
How the manga is the exception, they even exist in your world, just still mention.
I can answer any questions you wish. I'm not a walking encyclopedia, and my memory is not perfect, so you'll have to forgive anything I forget, but feel free to ask me questions. What do you want to know?
I don't have any questions.
And I'm sure Wolfgar, being on the border, can give you many a violent tale if you're simply looking for something that would not meet public discourse.
I would like to know more about the Bellinora dynasty.
Yes, they are people that do not worship the Court of Stars. A magicless, created by the Fae, I believe, and she gives a short glance at Mouse. Back when the Fae ruled over the continent and they needed human slaves.
Wait, what? The Fae ruled over the continent?
Yes, they were the keepers of Althara before humans arrived.
I feel that indentured servitude has already been a theme a couple times in our one day of being here.
Yeah.
I'm noticing a lot of young.
I'm not too keen on that.
Wait, what do you mean by when the humans arrived? Like, same as us arrived? Or from another continent?
I do not believe we were magically transported. Some ship fleeing from another continent arrived here, and the humans spread out and grew.
And do you have
Those that were not
contact with other
captured
continents?
by the Althara. No, unfortunately, they were lost. But those who were not captured by the Fae at the time, at least.
Because humans breed like rabbits, so... It's easy
True.
to
Mouse
take over
laughs.
place.
Oh man, this is great. I'm loving this.
Mouse, do you know anything of the history?
I mean, I know plenty of things. So many things. I'm so old.
That was a specific question, though, so... What do you know about the history?
Lots of things.
We already determined that he's gonna talk around it, so we should just...
He's a Fae, after all. They speak in riddles.
Hey,
Kind of like-
hey.
You're generalizing a lot.
Yeah, let's not stereotype
I
here.
speak in riddles. I know plenty of my
speak in
kind
riddles.
that are very blunt.
From the fairy tales of our world.
They're called fairy tales?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
We don't got a lot of Fae around anymore. Or if we ever did, I
It's
don't...
a Loch Ness
We
monster.
don't have
I guess.
any Fae.
We don't have any. We never had
We
any.
We have
Bigfoot.
cryptids.
We have Bigfoot.
Cryptids are great.
Those are
We
also
have Bigfoot,
just
what's about it?
stories.
They
You
just
never know.
stories.
You
But
don't
who
know
knows?
if
And
it
Faust
exists.
laughs.
It could be real.
Oh, the irony. Anyway. Oh, you guys were
Yeah.
talking about something to do with the Belinaran dynasty or something, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, anyway. Thank you, Mouse. You're welcome! They are ruled by, I'm not so caught up in my Belinaran history. I believe they are ruled by a king and queen. I don't know if they're called that, but it is something similar. A royal family system, in any case. They do not worship the Court of Stars. Their pantheon, I believe, they worship a pantheon of deities, referred to as the Elga. Both the tribes and the people of the dynasty worship the Elga, though they are separate entities.
And this is a... What did you call it?
You're gonna have to give us descriptor words, because
The Pantheon, that's it.
Yes. I do not know the specifics, unfortunately. There are so precious
have to
few
do some more
Salbana
research
to
then.
talk to
We'll have to do some more research on that then.
on borders.
Hey, and the best way to get to know a place is to travel. Of
Exactly.
course, I wouldn't know because, you know, glance at Ezekiel.
Who
The
is-
travel thing didn't really happen.
He's lazily smacking the toy sword on the floor.
No, that's a responsibility you had to
You
take
know
care of.
what? We could actually use that toy as a detector for... Have you guys ever played Dungeons and Dragons? There's a city Dungeons and Dragons
You're
called a
gonna
Mimic.
use my son as a dragon detector?
No, not a dragon detector, a mimic detector. Have you ever... I'm sure
I'm
there's
pretty
something
sure that that sword can't hit anyone, and I'm gonna take this. Ezekiel, can I
like...
see that?
Any living thing, but it obviously hits other things. If you, like, hit a table and it doesn't actually hit the table, then we know the table is alive.
Ezekiel, can I see your sword?
As long as you'll give it back.
I will. And then I wanna try and hit the familiar with it.
What did you do that for? And why did that not hurt? Is that one of your human fancy magic toy things?
Yeah. What exactly do you want this to do? And then I'm gonna tap it on the table. I'm assuming it taps on the table, right?
It doesn't make sounds.
It doesn't.
Okay.
It like.
All things, right?
So no difference. Damn.
And then I'm gonna
That's not
poke
mimic
Ezekiel with it a
detector.
couple times, and then hand it back to him.
Alright,
Pokes
never
you a
mind
couple
then.
times in revenge. You don't really notice.
Never mind then.
Is there anything else you'd like to know?
I'm gonna turn to the Marquis. Marquis?
Marquez.
Marky.
There's a difference.
Marky.
Marquez.
Marquez.
Marquis.
Wolfguard. Wolfguard?
Yes.
So actually we were coming to see if you'd be chill with us crossing through your territory place?
There are border crossings. I could give you a letter of passage if you wish to expedite the process.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
The border is near Andrathis, so if you come the way, feel free. And he gestures to Mouse, who sighs, languidly rolls its eyes, then raises a wing and summons a piece of paper with like that like really fancy script on it that glows for a bit before sealing itself into a letter, and then a wax seal appears over it.
Wow.
Yeah. Now that was just showing off, Mouse.
Yeah,
I
but it
have
was
to
kinda
do
cool.
something. This is a letter of passage, and free if you would like on your way down, if you so kind to stay at the Manor of Ward in your passage through.
We'll see when we
I will
get
likely
there.
not be home, but my wife and my wife will be at the house. Her name is Albreda, should you see her. My sons might not be home, but if you see them, their names are Ulfi, Thomas, and Reginald, and they're very good at magic.
That's wonderful to know.
I could talk about them for days, but this is not the time and place.
I
Thank you.
completely understand.
What was your
Ezekiel.
Your
in the
son is
background.
adorable, might I add.
what was your son's what was the first son's name?
Ulfi.
Ulfi.
Thomas.
Ulfi, Tomas, and
Oh,
Reginald.
Ulfi.
Thomas. Come on.
They're triplets.
Oh.
Light of my life.
I totally understand. Ezekiel, he gave you a compliment. What do we say to compliments?
Thank you.
There we go.
You're very welcome. But you can certainly make passage. Where are you headed next? Are you heading up for Andrathis?
The capital, right?
Ashburn.
Ashbourne.
Ashbourne.
You got it right the first time.
Ashburn.
The capital.
I wrote that
No.
down. Why did you say it wrong?
Well, you're not headed in my direction, but I could give you a letter of recommendation for the court, and I'm sure the Baroness might connect you with her Duchess.
That would be.
That would be wonderful.
Of course. The Ferris Point town is within the Allard family dukedom, and I'm sure Duchess Beatrix would be more than happy to see Kingmakers in her favor.
Okay.
And she will just get up and write you a letter. No fancy magic required.
See, that is how a classy lady does it.
Ooh.
I'm gonna look at Ezekiel and I'm gonna be like, take notes, dude. Classy lady. Write a letter yourself.
Classy.
Classy.
What does that mean?
It
Like-
means
Like
Would you
high,
a Google
like
dictionary.
Cool. It's
and
cool.
like well
lady.
dressed and
Fancy lady.
I cannot
fancy
Google
lady.
all
That's a
the
really good
dictionary.
one,
Fancy,
Ezekiel.
cool lady.
And she looks at Lavina and nods and like, fancy lady.
She's
Now-
classy.
before we
Lady.
go, Mother, did you happen to scry your, what's the word for it? The other sisters?
Yeah.
I'm
do the
afraid
message
none of them
message
have
thing.
encountered your friends yet. Though the sister in Faversham did speak to some strangers perusing through the town. They left soon after, though.
Mm-hmm.
What do they look like?
A voyeur?
Faversham, it's on the other side of the forest.
I still say we stick to our regular plan and we go to Ashbourne. And then hopefully that we meet someone there who has a little bit of sway, who can get the word out, and so we can find them.
Agreed.
And hey, maybe
And
others will
meantime,
go to
if
the
we
capital.
can learn more about history and stuff, things that we haven't learned yet.
Lavina stands up. Well, I'll guide you to the library so you can make your way through there before you leave. And it was a pleasure meeting you all.
When are we leaving?
Aron travels at night, Levithia says. So you will likely leave at sundown.
Oh. Okay. Can he take the cart?
Yes, he will be taking you in the cart, I imagine.
Okay, good to know.
I'll be heading out for my pilgrimage at the same time.
We should hurry back to the library to see what information we can gather.
And Lavina will guide you to her
To the
library in her manor. And she'll point you to the sort of like the grander tomes in the back that look more well-loved, let us say.
A well-loved book is always nice.
Yeah.
We need to read from both libraries so we can see the biases in each book.
I mean, me and Aron already read the main books at the
Yeah.
other place.
Yes.
What information are you trying to find? And I doubt you want me to actually just read off things that I've written down, so...
I'm gonna look for some information on the Fae.
Okay.
That's really smart. I
would like some more information on, that one kingdom. Yeah, more like with the Fae and the creatures that they called monsters.
The Dark Eyes?
The
Orikar.
Dark Eye. The Orikar. That's
Salbana are starless. They're not enemies of the court, and they're creatures to be pitied because they can't cross on to the afterlife. But there are two beings, the Fae and Orikars, named Daybringers, enemies of the Astral Mother.
Yes.
So you want to look into enemies of the court, the Fae
Yes.
and Orikars?
Yes.
And
Yes. Someone wanted to use a move.
I would like to use my power tag, the right questions, to try to find more in-depth books on the Fae and what happened.
Okay, sure. We will roll an investigation check. How about this? Everyone who wants to ask me questions can do it that way.
Okay.
I would also like to find the most useless looking book, thumb through it to make sure there's no violent or graphic pictures. And then I put it down on the table next to me and I'm like, Ezekiel, research, serious research.
Can I read it?
Can I trust you?
And he gets a really serious expression a 4-year-old can, and he holds his sword out in front of him and goes, and nods very seriously.
And then I open the book for him.
And he sits on your lap and he struggles to read with you helping him.
No.
And then I will go ahead and roll. Oh my god!
Did you get a good...
You got a 12?
I rolled an 11!
What?
Nice.
I have nothing to add to it.
You get one question.
I have one thing to add to it. I am wise.
You get one question. It's Cluzing's power.
I'm wise beyond my years, so I can add that.
Okay.
Get a 12?
And who else is rolling investigation, and what did you roll?
I rolled 1. I got a 7.
I rolled a 9. I'm gonna add the right questions thing, and I want to get more questions. So I'm gonna use studious as well, and I did another check before this, so I think I can reuse these.
So how many tags are you adding?
3.
Okay, so you get 3 questions. How many tags is Emma adding to investigation?
Well, it's 7 right now, and 7 is
A soft
pass
success.
with a soft success, and it's 10 for an actual success, right?
Yes, and the more power you add, the more clues you have, so the more questions you can ask.
Can I use my
Right.
Can I use my banked question from before about inquiries of this world?
It was
Sure, but it is
specifically
based
having
around your
this-
transportation.
Okay. I can look
and
into
you
free
can look
magic.
You're
yeah,
specifically looking into
magic.
Fae right now, so one thing at a time. Anyway, what is Emma adding?
I'm adding memories past, and yeah, I'm just adding. Well, I only have really one power tag that applies but I'll
I
add
am
one.
sure you have more power tags for that than investigation.
Oh, it's
Lie to
history.
me.
You're Athena.
Oh, for my logos, I have history. I have the want to learn. That's 3 already.
Okay, so do you want to keep it at 3 and have 3 questions? Hard
Yeah,
success
I mean,
at
that already
1
gets me to
10?
10, right?
So you get 3 questions because that's how many tags you added.
I forgot I have logos cards too.
Okay. Did anyone else roll an investigation check?
Nope.
Aaron
Yeah,
or
me.
Mara?
Mara, do you want to read about the death ceremonies here?
Sure.
Investigation.
Or Mara, might I suggest instead of reading a book, you have access to a plethora of new undead.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh, I guess I'll
Talk to the undead.
do that.
You want to commune with the undead for your investigation instead of read a dusty old tome.
Yes.
Does Aaron rolling an investigation check?
I can. What exactly would I be?
Pick a topic, roll an investigation check on it, 2d6s, and add tags related to that.
What topic?
I don't know, you can think on it while everyone else asks me their
wrong.
question.
Oh,
We will
oh.
start with the one with the least amount of questions.
I have another question. Before that, because this might help her. For the mouse thing, can you add luck onto this and it will give her another question, or?
If you want to use it, you can.
Because it's not one-time usage, right? It's whenever you're in his vicinity.
So as long as you're in Mouse's vicinity.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
One
You
time
might
a day.
as well use the mouse
Yeah, why
while
not?
you have
Yeah.
it.
We're gonna add it.
Yeah.
So is that,
Is that the
I
one
get,
I
I get
gave you,
3
Reagan?
questions? Or 2 questions?
Yee.
I don't know how many you have to
Pretty.
begin with.
How many people are adding mouse luck?
Me.
I'll add it as well.
3 of you?
Mm.
Okay. And what did Mara roll for investigation?
8.
Do you have any tags to add to that?
No, I'm good.
You can add
Using
your
your
commune
dead
with
tag.
undead tag.
Yeah.
Which gets you
Or
to 9.
being a necromancer?
Yeah, that one.
You should add those because
You want to get it to a 10 when and if you can.
Oh, okay, then yeah.
So we want to add 2 tags here. What tags are you adding?
The sticks with it.
What specific ones?
Necromancer, and I'm gonna use intimidating from disinterested.
Okay. You're going to summon a spirit
Intimidate.
and you're going to intimidate them into giving you the answers you need.
Oh, God.
Good to know.
I love that.
So you get 2 questions. So we'll go from order of who has the most questions to who has the least. So we'll start with the least. Mattius, what is your question?
Do I have 2 because I added the mouse one, or am
Yes.
I still at 1?
You have
Okay,
2.
so I have 2 questions.
Oh, and Mara, do you add your mouse luck?
No, mouse is annoying.
Good answer.
Because of Matthias's ultimate dude bro vibes, I would like to start by researching. Is there like a dictionary of modern slang laying around?
Not that I can give you an in-depth
There's no
information.
urban dictionary. There's
No?
no urban
Okay.
dictionary here.
Then I'll just go with what I originally said, and I want to research the Selvana.
You need to ask me specific questions.
What is the brief history of the founding of the Salbanese people? The Dark Eyes.
The brief
it's dark-
history.
And is Dark Eyes disrespectful? Because that's an important thing.
Is that your 2 questions?
Those are my 2 questions.
Dark Eyes is absolutely disrespectful.
Okay, we're not calling them Dark Eyes anymore.
Salvana is the actual term.
I'm gonna look up to the
Salvana.
others. Dark Eyes is like kind of slurish. We're just gonna stick with Selvana.
Got it. Noted.
And the name is because they have completely pitch black eyes.
That's cool.
But they were created from the first humans after Fae ended up getting had some sort of disease off of humans, and they were made to counteract that. And it was later discovered through some research from humanity and prodding into why the Fae got sick because of them. It's because how humans use magic physically drains Fae who are creatures of magic.
Aww.
So it made them ill. So the Fae cut humans off of magic and created Selbana for safe use of slaves. It's not a fun thing, but they rebelled at some point, and a large group of them escaped. And ended up becoming a very renowned warrior tribe people for a little while before building the city of Solaris and settling down there. And slowly becoming the well-known and very powerful dynasty they are today.
Okay. With that information in mind,
Thriving.
There has been multiple wars between the Selbana and the Evren people. Almost all of them have ended in Evra losing territory.
So the Sylvana are really good at fighting.
They're really good at fighting. Partially because they trained really hard, and partially because through some study it has been realized that not only did the Fae take them off of magic, they made them supernaturally good at other skills to make them better servants. Like, oh, they're really strong. We don't need 3 of them to carry this one thing. It could just one of them can carry this one thing. It's good.
The thing you were describing it in a way that is making me physically unsettled. I am physically unsettled by this story.
Good. It's
I
not
feel
happy.
It's
This
history.
makes me not want to elect any of those as the.
Read any history book. It does not make you feel happy things.
no.
Read any honest history book. That is the keyword. Honest. If it doesn't make you slightly unsettled, then it is
Read from the other
swaying
side.
the truth.
If it's not making you feel unsettled, read the other side.
If you're not feeling unsettled by a history book, you should be, because the fact that you're not being unsettled by it means that something is horribly wrong.
Either it's a book or you.
Yep.
There we go. That's our tagline. History is scary. You should be unsettled by it.
Be unsettled.
If you aren't, seek some help, please.
Yeah.
What did you say that it was
Selbana?
Sylvana?
Alvana.
Selbana. Selbana.
The
Oh,
place
the
that they live.
bee.
The place they live is Solaris.
Solaris.
It was named originally. There's like a little thing in the book that you look, ironically, because the Court of Stars hates the day, so it was named after the sun.
That's great.
It's named after Spite, because originally when the Selbana escaped, they went to the burgeoning Evren Empire for help, and they were turned away.
Ooh.
Ah.
The start of an ages-long conflict. The war only ended when Emperor Skye made a peace treaty. When he took the throne, that was the first thing he did. He crafted a global peace treaty.
Is there anyone not looking up stuff right now? Because if
Ezekiel.
Aron?
yeah, Aron, maybe you should look into the current emperor.
Alright,
Yeah.
that's what I can look up.
Okay, roll me an investigation check.
And is there any interesting tidbits on their culture?
I got a
I'm-
10.
I can give you some stuff. 10, do you add any tags?
I can add the little mouse owl thing. with
Yes,
plus
add
one
your mouse
to 11.
luck.
Aren't you a history major?
And you have things
you
to
can-
add.
If it's in your logos like me, I added it, kind of.
I mean, I'm so tempted to invoke one of your weaknesses if you're gonna look into it using your history major tags, but okay.
Like, most of it is prehistoric stuff, which
Yeah,
we don't know.
it's really just trilobites after all.
Try the virus.
I'm saying that because I'm invoking your weakness right now. Do you accept it?
Like, it is. That's where, like, the expertise lies in ancient arthropods. That might help, though, think about it. He might.
Do you accept your weakness?
Yeah, I'll take
Accept it.
Okay, so take it attention, it's -1. It doesn't do anything. I'm literally giving you a free attention so we can learn how attention works. Mark it attention. When you get to 3, you can add another power tag, or do one of a lot of other things that is listed in the player's handbook.
Yay!
Such as making a move, permanently dynamite, which means when you roll a 12, it acts like a critical hit in Dungeons & Dragons, and good things happen.
10 out of 10. Would trilobite again.
Yeah, so you have 1. You have 1 attention on that card.
And so, what do we find out
That's
about
how that works.
Mr. Emperor Boy?
You have 1 question, so you're just, what do you gonna ask me?
What should I ask?
You have the lowest amount of questions, so we'll go to you next anyway. But I'm gonna finish answering the is there any fun tidbits about their culture thing for Sylvana. Sure. The tribes of Blood and Blown are, there are a bunch of them. They're individually named after flowers.
I love that!
Their symbol is a black flower doused in red.
Well, that's like a little bit more iffy.
That's just moderately unsettling.
Angst.
Wait, the flowers here are different. They're named differently.
Are they?
Some of them.
Are they?
That's so cool.
Roses still exist, you might find. But some flowers are different. Anyway, we will move on to Aron's question since he has the next least. What is your 1 question about Emperor Skye Color?
I don't know.
Any suggestions from the peanut gallery?
Give us a brief summary of his actions.
Can I have...
Can I please have a brief summary of his actions?
Can he trust
That's a
it?
question.
Can
Is
he
that your question, Aron?
Yeah, how much
can I get?
bad things can I find out about this guy?
How many bad things? You don't want to know any of the good stuff?
No.
I've heard quite, like, I just am curious, like...
You can ask for the bad and good points during his rule.
Or can I have a timeline of his acts?
You can ask the timeline question. I have a literal timeline.
Let's do some high and low points. A brief
High and low?
summary.
I have a timeline, so I'm going to read the timeline.
So take the timeline, dude.
Do the timeline.
I'm gonna put theme music here. You don't need to sing it. Okay, so 1173 victory. Actually, I should probably start a little before that. 1152 victory. 4 of the Empress's 5 children die or vanish in mysterious circumstances. The eldest, afraid of the throne, hung herself. The next was wounded in a training accident. The wound got infected and he died. The next was killed in a fire. The youngest was kidnapped by a fae and hadn't been heard from since.
God damn.
1173 victory. Empress Tall Willow dies after a rock slide on the cliffs. Their surviving child takes the throne as Emperor Skycaller, who in the same year creates a stronger alliance with the Salbana and begins raids of East Hollow. He uses the Fae they capture to experiment with the binding, and a powerful magician in his own right succeeds in binding them, turning them to obedient, powerful beings called familiars that would increase their keeper's magic. He also begins translating the Mad Mage's notes fervently. And the Mad Mage is someone who was captured by Fae, escaped with a bunch of secret knowledge, and wrote it down in mad, untranslatable scrawlings. Isn't that fun? 1185 victory. The court and Belinaran armies converge on the Land's Blood, and the City of Fire is raided with the full force of humanity. Elshana, before she dies, she and her subject are bound, delivers the Kingmaker's prophecy, predicting the downfall of the known empire and kingdoms, and the rise of a new ruler. Uh, 1203 Skye. Emperor Skycaller succeeds where many failed and decodes the Mad Mage's notes completely. Discovering another ritual that was connected to the mage's long life, Emperor Skycaller takes the year to tinker with the ritual. Completing the ritual, Skycaller seems to become immortal. 12-12 Skye.
How does his mother die again?
His mother died in a rock slide.
Right, rock slide.
Skycaller orders East Hollow in the City of Fire rebuilt. He builds the Cloudvale Academy of Magic in the City of Fire and gifts East Hollow to the Bellinarans as a show of good faith. East Hollow, for reference, is the Pine Tree Forest. Reading. 1252 Skye. Many reformations for guards and roads are made for trade routes, and an order of knights called the Shadow Hunters are created specifically to fight against Shadowlings and Oricars, should more arrive from a place called the Denal. Let's see, what other stuff did Skycaller do? 1305 Dawn, Skycaller takes his first wife, Queen Regent Maria, a common-born tailor who is said to be the most beautiful woman in Ashbourne. 1320 Dawn, Queen Regent Maria and her small daughter are killed on their way to Solaris on a diplomatic mission by bandits. The perpetrators are captured and executed, but it is said that Skycaller fell into a period of intense mourning, handing the throne to the court until he recovered. 1367 Dawn, Skycaller comes out of mourning and takes the throne once more as another oracle called Teofel arrives on Altheran shores. 1380 Dawn, Teofel is killed by Skycaller in an intense battle, earning the Emperor the reputation of not only a great mage and ruler, but also a legendary warrior. However, the death of his beloved wife and his daughter was said to have changed him forever, making him colder and more prone to anger. 1415 Mist, Skycaller orders new, harsher laws, larger taxes, making all those with innate magic talent having to go to Cloudvale. Orders Salbana kept out of the west, and orders Candlings to be protected and kept into the Grove of Mirrors for their own safety. He orders all familiars are to only be given to those who are graduated from Cloudvale, and for many familiar families to give up their already owned familiars. 1470, Skycaller marries again, taking the powerful and beautiful sorceress Yvette as his wife, and now Queen Regent. 1282 Mist, Skycaller's son Rain is born. 1298 Mist, Skycaller's daughter Thala is born. A brief summary of Skycaller. Thank you.
It's so mysterious how all his older siblings vanished or died in mysterious
horrible accidents.
Including
Are
his
you
mother.
thinking of a conspiracy?
Really? No.
He's made himself immortal, right?
Your brother's in front of the throne? Just, oh no, he tripped on a sword. Darn, guess I'm in power now.
Oh,
Yeah,
look,
that's
the
just-
first one
seriously.
hung herself. Sure she did.
I plug Ezekiel's ears and give them all a look.
Okay, and
Sorry.
Mara, how many questions did you have from your roll?
I believe it was 2, correct?
Okay, then you're next on the block. What are you asking me?
Oh dear.
And I will say, this is a montage of you guys reading, and you guys you read these, and I'm answering the questions as Aron guides you to the cart, and you guys are getting on the road.
Okay.
So this can happen in a more quick-paced fashion.
Do you know why these siblings, like, has anyone else caught on to the fact that it's kind of suspicious that all the siblings died?
I can answer that question. The ghost will answer gladly. It was a conspiracy theory for years, but then Skycaller became the Saint of Peace, and that quelled many rumors.
That's literally dumb. This dude is so smart. I have so much respect for this.
Guys, I can't kill people if I'm the Saint of Peace. Well, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, alright, good for
What?
you.
Political move.
That's
terrible.
sus.
He became the Saint of
Yeah.
Peace after he gifted East Hollow to the Bellinarans and cemented global peace on Althara.
See, Jim, I gave that guy some land. How could I have killed my relatives? Well, I guess that's a good point. That's a great point.
I appreciate your guys' deep trodden suspicion here. It's real great.
We go suspicious of everyone, especially since they throw around apparently slurs so freely.
This is the medieval era.
And, kind of rewrite history. At least attempt to...
It's not nice here.
Yeah, it's effectively medieval Europe, and that place sucked.
I think it's good to have at least some grain of suspicion of everybody and their history.
So that was one of your questions. What is your second, Mara?
What's the temper like on this dude?
Well, according to rumors, when he was married to Queen Regent Maria, he was hardly angry ever. But now, he barely ever smiles.
Fine.
Those are your two questions. So, who wants to go next? The rest of you have 3, Emma and Jane.
We have 4 with the mouse thing.
Right, 4 with the mouse. 4 with magic Mickey Mouse, anyway.
Magic Mickey Mouse.
Copyright not.
We are allowed to reference characters as long as they do not appear as characters within our game.
Okay.
Disney kicks down the door. What the frick you just...
Shh! You'll awaken the mouse.
What are you researching again?
I'm researching the Orcra.
The Orcars.
Oracar, yes, sorry.
Why don't I next continue the feed?
Jane's doing the Fae.
Okay,
What's on my page on the Fae?
Didn't Maddie find out that the Fae died and fell from power because the humans drained their magic power?
It made them sick.
Yeah.
And
it was mostly they created the Salbana to be better slaves for them.
And eventually when the Salbana escaped, they did other things to make sure the humans wouldn't make them sick.
Okay.
Oh, maybe you should ask about that because I was not informed of that.
Yeah.
Innocent blink.
What did the Fae do to the humans after the Salbana escaped?
Let's exactly copy-paste that question into Ashley.
Copy-paste that question.
They didn't do anything to the humans. They intrinsically changed their selves and their relationship with magic so they wouldn't be poisoned every time humans used it.
I just acknowledge the fact that humans in such a way, dude, you're literally making me say, oh, dude, I'm not that bad at it. No, I'm literally dying because you're doing that. Dude, I'm actually dying. Oh my god.
For my second question, can I have a brief summary of Fae rule and how they ruled their lands and what they did?
A lot is very unknown about the Fae, mostly because they were isolationist, and when they weren't attacking the humans, they were doing everything in their power to not talk to them. So not a lot is known about them, which is why a lot of hateful sentiment developed around them, because they kept to themselves so much, and the only thing that was known about them at the time was, oh hey, they kidnap us and turn us into, slaves. So
apparently unholy.
Yeah, so they developed a very negative opinion of the Fae at the time. The human perspective on the Fae is that they are literal monsters.
Okay.
I can give you a little more about the cultural side of the Fae, like what they worshipped. They worshipped a religion called the Enla or Eravun, which has many distinct parallels to the Court of Stars religion. Not that many scholars would say that out loud.
How so?
They worship what?
The Enla or Eravun, much like the Court of Stars, is a religion focused on ancestral worship.
And they don't worship these stars or the night.
No.
Okay.
It's the idea that when you die, you become a star.
Yeah.
Let's see. How did Fae end up becoming the familiars of humans, and what's that process?
There was a long, drawn-out war between the Fae and the humans. Skycaller decoded some rituals in the Mad Mage's scrawling that allowed them to bind magic, which allows you to bind Fae. Because they are magic. So he figured out that ritual and then used it on the Fae that they captured.
Interesting.
And any new Fae that have been created in the meanwhile.
Created.
Hmm.
Fae.
Are the Fae historically malicious, like, creatures in general, I guess?
They hate humans. They tried to wipe them out before they realized, oh, these things, they keep coming back. So instead of wiping them out, let's just make them slaves if they keep coming back. They don't like humans.
So we have to be really careful about the Fae we select to represent. I think we should find a young Fae. And then, like, kind of take them into our party and show them more stuff.
Let's indoctrinate some Fae.
So that they know not all humans are bad, not all Faes are bad either, you know.
Was that your last question?
Yes.
Okay. Moving on to the Orcars. Emma.
What is the brief history of the Orcars?
You ready for a timeline?
Give me a second. Okay.
How full is the book now?
Okay. Starting at
Pretty full.
290 breath. The first human war begins as the Everin and Andrathis forces meet in Astraclane and declare holy war on the Arkala people of the Mirror Groves. Famous tactician Minos of the Arkalans fears for his people's lives and makes a very risky move, traveling with a small strike force to the City of Fire, where they agree to become Salbana before Alshana, should Alshana and her Fae aid them. Alshana refuses, attempting to turn Minos into a Salbana anyway. He managed to interrupt the ritual at the price of his men and was twisted into what would be known as the First Orcar, an unaging creature with the ability to drain magic from others. It takes the entire Fae fighting force to drive the newly mindless man out of the city, who disappears across the sea and into the wilderness of the Denal.
Let me write that down for a second. Able to drain magic.
Wow, the Fae really liked.
It'll give you. It'll take a while because I have to find where the next mention of Orcars is on my timeline. I miss Control F. I wish I typed this.
Oh my god.
What?
402 Flame. Mortani trade suddenly and completely cuts off, attempting to reestablish contact. Armade and all end in disaster or disappearances, and era of unease settles over the continent. The Mortani are the people that originally lived in the Denal. 426 Flame. A ship docks at Venzor, seeming to be unmanned. When boarded, a single Orcar introduces herself as Terrafel. She is reported to have smiled as she slaughtered the guards who investigated, then turned them into twisted beings called Shadowlings, who became her soldiers as she marched across Althara. 429 Flame. The court declares an emergency and asks all, even the Fae, to fight against the threat Terrafel poses. All human kingdoms and empires join forces to begin combating her.
It's just one Orcar, right? What's her name again?
Yep, Terrafel. 482 Flame. After decades of fighting against Terrafel and her ever-growing army of Shadowlings, a final stand of humanity almost ends in failure, until the barrier around the Grove breaks and the people of Briar's End, now known as Candlings, storm into battle, twisted by the magic of the Fae Kingdom to have spirit hybrids able to counter the Shadowling. Terrafel is slain by a Candling hero who becomes enshrined in the Saint's tomb as the Saint of Hope. The hero tragically dies in the fight.
What? One of them took out nearly the entire continent.
Yes.
And it caused both of the races to unite.
Everyone but the Fae.
What?
Let's see. Oh, here we go. 570 Iron. Work to combat the Fae is pushed aside as an Oracle calling himself Sorafel arrives on mainland Althara, and with him brings another disastrous and with him bringing another disastrous wave of shadowlings moving much faster than Terrafell. 590 iron. Oh, I have to decide what I need to read from here. Someone mysteriously kills Sorafel. History is unclear. It is said to have been another Candling hero, but it's really startlingly vague. Where the history before gives names and descriptions and things, this one just says a Candling hero kills Sorafel.
I'm feeling it wasn't actually a Candling.
And we move on to the next
Wait,
Oracar, if
it's
I can
iron,
find it.
right?
Yeah, that was.
39 iron.
Let's find the next Oracar. My timeline, real long, so feel free to discuss the information you learned while I searched. Wait, I found it. 689 stars. Sightings of an Oracar are reported, but it isn't for certain, and the mages that have been planted in Balanarin use this as an opportunity to seize more political power in the dynasty. But they are banished into the catacombs soon after due to a series of uncovered crimes. Tensions rise again as a new group of Everin mages is sent to replace the last. So they set up a barrier between the Denal and mainland, so mages had to be put in checkpoints around where the barrier was set up, including in the Salbana-run Balanarin. Let's see if I can find anything else. Feel free to discuss.
Obviously, it wasn't the actual Candling hero who killed the second one. It was probably one of the ones that are supposed to be pitied. So,
Is that what you think?
Salbana, I think probably.
Just because it would be like narratively cool, or
because they wouldn't report on a Salbana or a Fae killing the thing. Because why would they do that if they want people to hate the Fae? Right?
Anyway, I found the next tag. 734 Radiant. The current Balanarian Celina, which is a leader, Dalura, realizes that they are being pushed back at a dangerous rate, and when an Oracar, calling itself Zenithal, is found pushing at the wards in Ilragon, she makes a dangerous play, targeting the town's mages, which is a small force, and destroying the worlds, making a deal for Zenithal to destroy their enemies. Third Oracar is unleashed on the continent. This was at the time where Balanarin was at war with Evra and was very much losing. 742 Radiant. Zenithal proves true to his word, taking out swaths of the Evran army, leaving shadowling soldiers and Salbana spies in his wake. Scholars would later use this incident to theorize that, as the Oracar targets magic, that Salbana aren't affected by their biggest weapon, although the theory is quickly abandoned due to Salbana still being able to be turned into shadowlings. 787 Radiant. Zenithal is slain in Carningsby after a famous commander creates a rock slide burying the creature before sealing the deal with a massive explosion of magic. When he died, he was entombed in the Saint's Tomb as the Saint of Valor. With both Balanarin and Evran armies devastated, the war came to a quiet end. That's new information.
Really?
What else do you think of this new information that I've been throwing at you?
There's a lot of interesting information.
there's a lot of thought that went into this world.
Yeah, it's a lot.
We're not done.
Okay.
Figured.
We're on year 9. Not done yet. 900.
Okay, just 900, straight 900?
Oh, here we go. 1052 Bright. An Oracar named Duskfell attacks Solaris, giving Menel Salbana the opportunity to free and join up with the tribe. Duskfell.
Duskfell.
1067 Bright. A Frey named Delta puts aside his differences and works with Salbana of the tribes to kill Duskfell. That one doesn't get to rampage quite as long. And the next one to appear is the one I have already told you about. That's Emperor Skycaller, Slade. But there is one before that, excuse me. 1267 Skye, an oracle named Marifel arrives on the shores of Althara. The knights and researchers note that with each passing oracle, they seem to grow more powerful and more human-like. This one manages to shadow the wards, keeping the barrier in place. 1288 Skye. Marifel is slain by one of the Shadow Hunter knights, who unfortunately loses her life killing the creature. She is entombed as the Saint of Sacrifice in Astracane.
Hold on, killed by Saint of Sacrifice.
And then the next one,
a lot of these saints are coming from people who have killed.
Orcards, yes. And the next one is TL Fell, killed by Skycaller and 380 Dawn.
TFL
has been they've been very quiet since then.
Unless the king made agreement with them, I wouldn't be surprised.
You guys already hate the Emperor so much. It's real great.
Yeah.
We
my
hate
next
everyone.
equally. We hate everyone equally.
Well, he's suspicious.
What's the year that TSL appeared? What's the year that TSL appeared? This isn't one of the questions. This is just.
Yeah, I know. Let me find it. $1367 Dawn.
And the time it was killed?
1380 Dawn. By Skycaller.
Yeah. Okay. My next question is there a way to identify them?
They look like walking shadows. Everyone is getting more and more human, like, oh, this one has something that resembles hair, or a face, or eyes, or a grin. Everyone gets more and more human-like, and less just a mound of walking shadow in a vague human appearance.
Which at one point in time, a shadow almost destroyed the entire continent.
Yes, they multiply, be able to make kind of like zombies under their control.
I just find it just kind of funny to think about. Just, oh my god, it's the shadow.
The shadowlings. They make shadowlings when they kill someone.
Yep.
Do you imagine if an individual made a shadow was like marching at you with a bunch of shadow zombies? Like, you can't even deny that would be horrifying.
That would be absolutely terrifying.
The first one was said to have grinned as she slaughtered her enemies.
Yeah.
And then turn them into freaking zombie shadows.
We're not gonna be judgy on what people are afraid of here. We've not experienced one yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, do you guys have any suggestions for, like, other questions?
You have 3 more, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wait,
How would they...
Yeah, that was her 4th one. That was her first one. She asked her 4th one. We read the timeline.
Oh my gosh.
I've used 2 so far.
And we're trying to uncover it and comprehend it all in like the first.
Do you have any questions about the Orcar?
How were they killed?
In vicious one-on-one combat. The first one to be killed, the Candling used one of those crystalline blue weapons called Blue Heart, and managed to impale her with a Blue Heart arrow, being impaled by a arrow of shadow herself at the same time in a dramatic moment.
Blue Heart weapons.
They can be killed like normal things with weaponry and attacks. It's just they're really hard to.
Noted. Let's not fight that.
They're shadows, so they're a little less corporeal, so a little harder to hit. You have 2 more questions?
1 more. Because the first one was the timeline, the second one is how to identify them, the third was how they were killed.
Right, 1 more question.
Is there any more information about the second killer of a Orcar?
I'd say you take this to Lavinia while you are in her library, saying this. Everything else in this book has been so filled out and pretty unbiased, and then there's just this one statement that sticks out to you like a red flag.
Mm-hmm.
She shrugs and explains that at the time they were at war with Belinaran, so it was possible that it could have been a Salbana. But history didn't record their name. Or many details about the person who did it at all. They're remembered as a candling, even though it is unlikely.
Alright, that's what I figured.
Because later in history, when they weren't at war, they've recorded Fae and Salbana killing Orcars.
But I figured it's a product of the fact that they hated the Salbana at the time. Alright, that's all my questions then.
Okay, so you guys have been sitting on the cart while you've been doing this round of questioning with Aron, who's traveling in the dead of night, yet seems to be able to guide the horse and see just fine. He's the one driving, being the only one that knows directions.
Why do you travel at the dead of night?
It is a tradition. I am faithful of the Court of Stars. We travel under the night for good luck. And also it makes my job easier. I am a shadow hunter knight. I clean up shadowlings that have been left by Orcars. They're more active at night. Makes my job easier.
Oh, so they just like...
during the day?
What decade is it?
What?
I'm sorry, I unmuted on accident.
I was asking what question was just asked from someone who was phrasing a real question because I didn't hear it.
Do you sleep during the night?
What?
Do you sleep during the day? If you drive at night, do you sleep during the day?
I try to.
That's like a college student. Except we don't sleep.
You're supposed to.
Supposed to, but coffee is nice.
Aaron can vouch for that. Coffee is very much enjoyable.
You really should sleep, Aron. Like, just conk out in the cart while we're going.
And as you guys are talking, you've been on the road for a couple hours at this point, through this information spiel that has been playing over you guys getting on the cart and riding for a couple hours.
Right, so Aaron's out.
Yeah. But he pulls... Aaron's eyes are fixated on the road, and he suddenly reels back the reins on the horses, and they jerk to a stop. No, but you guys can all see it. There is a probably a little smaller than the horse. A giant pink butterfly sits on the road.
I'm gonna lean forward. Is that a bad thing?
Can everyone else see that? Or am I gonna go nuts?
And it takes off, and then Aron raises his sword, and it, as he strikes out at it, it lands delicately on the blade.
So pretty.
And you notice it has a little string around its neck, with a little item that looks like a book. And Aron relaxes and looks at it. You're familiar. Where is your master? And the thing tilts its head. Before sitting on the sword is a guy with all pink skin, pink hair, pink butterfly wings. The book, a little icon on his necklace, breaks off, becomes a little bigger, and sits at his side as he leans forward. I am afraid my master decided to be stupid with a transportation stone, so now I'm stuck in the middle of literal nowhere. Might you, kind sir, help me get back to them?
Where?
Who?
Oh, my master, mistress, Vega Alcade.
I'm gonna...
We don't know that name, do we?
No.
there's barely any. Yeah, there's like almost no way we should.
Is the lady in the cart with us?
What lady?
No, we went with Aron.
Aron.
I will turn to
Aron
him
Lighten.
like a quirk an eyebrow.
And she is, oh, she was a merchant, and got caught up. She was specifically a merchant from the Mages Guild back on Andrathis and was going to finish a trade contract in Cloudville. Oh, so exciting. When she was absconded by ruffians. In her panic, she said she used transportation stones incorrectly, which threw me halfway across the continent and her to who knows where.
So,
Oh, boy.
so you have no idea. Do I believe him?
Do you believe him? Roll me an investigate check.
I just assume I'm
And I
assuming
can't
it
add
has
anything
a
to
flash
it
of
because
point.
I
There,
use.
is there such thing as an assist in this?
Nope. Well, you can use, if you have a help point, you can use it, but you only have hurt points
point.
on Mattius.
We're not very friendly right now.
We're working on it.
Hold on. I'm trying to check the crew card. Yep. Nope. Yep. Nope. Double ones.
He seems facetious and like drawing out his words, but that's how a mouse acted too. So probably telling the truth. You're not certain, but probably.
Can I roll? Two.
You can.
Nope.
Also, you get the same spiel. He seems a little facetious and like he's drawing his words out and rolling his eyes. But again, that's the same way Mouse acted.
I'm gonna lean down to Uran. Did I get it? How do you say it again?
Urin.
Uran. Your call, dude.
It would be against the law to leave it alone. Get on then. What is you call yourself? Oh, my name is Cades. A pleasure.
Cades?
Yes.
That's a dope name, dude.
What do you all call yourselves, beacons of light and shadow?
Wait. Are you one of those, what did the other guy call him?
Name.
Name mages?
Name
If
phase.
I were, why would I tell you?
No one say their full name. Safe.
Uh,
Better safe than sorry.
I'm Maddie.
Hello,
I'm
Matty.
Emma. I'm Emma.
Emma.
Tell me, Adalai.
Adalai.
Point to Aron and I go, that's Aaron.
Strange name. Nice to meet you, Aaron.
It's Aron.
No, it's not. It's Aaron.
I don't.
Nice to meet you, Aaron, Aaron, and not Aaron, but not Aaron. Nice to meet you.
I'm too tired for this.
Jane.
Nice to meet you, Jane.
And the salad one over there is Mara.
It's a pleasure to meet you,
He doesn't
Mara.
like talking.
Pleasure to meet you too.
And he sits down. His wings disappear as he does to give himself not take up too much room in the cart.
Is Ezekiel already asleep?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So past his bedtime.
Aw.
He would have loved that. It's okay.
I'm gonna take a nap
Aw.
as well. About time to sleep anyway.
Can
Hi.
Jane have read Ezekiel bedtime stories?
Absolutely. You can have cute bedtime stories.
Genuinely cute, but Maddie was like half glaring at you the whole time.
There was 100% no murder.
In any case, is there any reason you give off more magic than a train?
I'm gonna just gesture to my
train?
glowing form.
Is that a lot or a little of magic?
Have you never seen a train before powered by earth magics? Humans can be so inventive.
Doot-doot.
Oh, you mean
Aren't that magical?
like a train with gas?
Like the ones that go the
They do not
Yeah,
make
those.
any noise, they are silent.
But do they have the wheels that go like that?
Perhaps.
that's been around.
Have
They
you
are
ever
common
seen
at
a train?
Cloudvale. I do not pay attention to them. I
Oh,
can
magic
fly. Why would
train.
I take a train?
They do have trains here. Interesting.
And
Why
my
would
magic
they
allows
not?
any of my keepers to fly as well. So we needn't ever take common man's transportation. Except when they fly themselves halfway across the bloody continent. Can you tell I'm annoyed? Transportation
No.
stones are easy to use. Trivial.
So
Mess
why
it
are
up?
you? So why are you on the card here instead of flying? Are you hoping?
Oh,
we
because
can-
protection's sake. I am
Oh.
legally bound. I'm not allowed to attack anything vaguely human-shaped. So it's better to travel with company.
Just close your eyes. You can't see it.
I
And
see.
it's probably not human.
Yeah.
There's no loopholes. I could be deaf, blind, and not be able to have any of my senses, and I still wouldn't be able to attack you if you were vaguely human-shaped.
What if I,
Be a
like,
vaguely human
and then
shaped
I'm just gonna
detective.
like curl up in a little ball.
You're still a human.
I'm not human shaped anymore.
But you are. You're a
That's
human
true.
curled up in a ball. That's very much still human-shaped. Anyway, my question. A reason you are beacons in the night.
I'm just gonna like
He's
look at
a
him and
beacon.
then
We're not.
just
Adalai.
Twist
Do
my
you
hair
think
a
I
little
am
bit.
an idiot, magically speaking?
I just don't know. Probably because
We just met you like
Even
2
with
seconds
Maria.
ago. How are we to know?
How are you to know the fact that you possess
Anything
powerful
about you.
magic?
Wait, is
Know anything
It
about
has
you?
nothing to do with me.
All right. So
And I
said
just
you
told you
think
my
I am
entire
stupid.
story. Familiar.
What with the
Master
bullshit?
did stupid thing.
Oh, that
Familiar annoyed.
Been around the bush.
magic and
We
we'll
are what you call a rift.
A rift.
I
No,
don't
understand
know
that.
what that means.
mean for magic or something.
Hold up, why don't we make a deal? You can tell us your magic and we'll tell you our magic.
That seems fair enough. You go first.
No,
No.
No.
Around.
You
No,
go
then I
first.
guess I'm not telling you mine. I don't trust you a lick.
that's fair.
How about one of us tells us?
You're the one
You
that's
are
riding on
magic
our
in it.
cart.
Yeah.
I trust the Shadow Hunter Knight to follow the rules.
There are rules.
So many
There are
rules.
Oh, like what?
To do with familiars. I'll have to take him back to Cloudvale if he can't get there himself. Across the land's blood to the City of Fire, to Cloudvale Academy, the premier magic school, and also one of the only magic schools in all of Athara.
Why did it sound like
There
I
were
just
more
got hit with an infomercial?
You want
You did. I've heard it so many times and seen it on pamphlets that I'm about dead inside.
Were there more magic schools before?
Not that I'm aware. I mean, I'm sure Andrathis has something, but I've never been to Andrathis, now have I?
We wouldn't know that.
Familiar to an Everin mage. Use some context clues.
Again, we're new here.
Context
We don't know.
of
How new
No.
are you? You want to
Like,
I
Yes.
don't know enough to make
been
proper
days,
assumptions
maybe
about
2
you.
3 days, maybe
2-3
Hey,
days.
I don't know. I haven't
no,
slept.
we've been here for 2 days.
We have.
2 days. Yeah.
No, 1 day. One full
don't
day.
know how
It's just
long
been
we've been on
24
that.
hours.
Yeah. If we came here, no, we came here in the middle of the night. So yeah, it's been only about
It's
24
been a
hours.
day. It's been 24
day.
hours.
Well, aren't you busy bees? Anyway, are you going to answer my question or are we going to sit here awkwardly while we travel on a cart to who knows where? Where are we headed? To the capital? Ah, the capital? Yes, it's on the way.
Alright.
Oh well.
Yeah, it means we get our abilities from stories.
Stories.
All historical
Fairy tales, as we like to call them.
Hey, are you
uh,
being coy with me?
A little bit.
Yeah.
That's I would know.
That would explain why your magic feels so fey-like. You're using tangle magic, not human magic.
Is that a good one?
Would you happen to be one of the older Fae?
Oh, well, I certainly know a thing or two. I'm not
Yeah,
young.
you've seen a thing.
I'm not
you
a
know
spring
a thing
chicken.
or two because you've seen a thing or two.
No, but
Farmer's
someone,
insurance.
another familiar. Is it rude to call you guys that?
I mean, it's what we are. We're certainly not Fae any longer.
Well, what would you prefer to be called now?
Well, I'm certainly not a
name?
fae. We're familiars.
So is that
What
your
if someone's not
preference?
familiar with the familiar?
I'm not gonna say anything more.
Okay.
But I'm asking what you prefer.
And we're not allowed to have personal preferences. Unfortunately, I cannot give you
That's-
that information.
Awful.
Horrible.
Who came up with this?
I'm pretty sure it's the rules of the magic ritual.
That's so sad.
You're not allowed to have personal preference?
I mean, my favorite color is pink. I have a lot of personal
Obviously.
preferences. I like butterflies.
Of course.
Butterflies are cool.
Can you choose whatever shape you want?
Yes. Those
Can
can
you
change
change shape?
freely.
Dope.
Most of
Good
them
to
can,
know.
anyway. Unless you have a really stringent sense of self. Anyway, fine. I'll give a show of trust if you answer my damned question. I'm too curious for my own good.
What was your question?
I mean,
again?
technically,
I'll
we did-
tell you what my magic is if you tell me, in full honesty, without your coy talking aroundness that you're doing right now, why you glow like magic beacons.
Oh, we're not from here.
That's not an answer to my question.
We're from a place called Wisconsin.
No, we're not. We're not all
You
from
know-
Wisconsin.
We
We're
came
not
from
all from
Wisconsin.
That does not help me. You know what I am asking, and you're talking around
We
an
are
answer.
from another world.
This really doesn't help me. That's really interesting, though.
It's why we glow. We're from another
Why we
world.
glow?
He answers the
Talking
question.
around my answer. Can you give me a straight answer, Shadow Knight? They want you to answer their question first. God damn you.
How about this? We don't actually know.
Fine.
how we connected.
And he snaps his fingers, and you all take the status maniacal laughter 1. You all break out into hysterical laughter.
Does it wake Ezekiel up?
No?
Okay.
You guys break out in hysterical laughter.
Laughing noises. He's too tired for this. His laugh is like.
It is real hysterical laughter, though. You can feel it in your gut. Tears start draining out of your eyes.
I don't laugh.
You do laugh.
You do
I
laugh.
don't laugh.
You
You
do
sit
laugh.
there
laugh.
and you wheeze.
You wheeze
I don't
terribly. And he snaps his fingers and the status goes away and you all stop making horrible wheezing noises or laughter.
That was
I have
your.
magic over laughter. I
That is
specialize in humor.
fantastic. Does
That-
anyone else think that's the greatest thing ever?
Thank
Absolutely,
you!
yeah.
It's so good. No one
I
gets
don't
the fact that, like, the reason I can do flying stuff is because you're so happy you're walking on air.
That's.
All
Well,
my
yeah.
magic is puns!
My name is Mattius. It's nice to meet you, dude. And I pull out
He
my
shakes
handprint.
your hand. Now,
Hey.
please answer my question.
Okay, so we were kind of honest. We're rifts, and we're from another planet. We don't know how or why we got here. I'm gonna look at.
We get powers from fairy
Really?
tales. I wasn't
Uh,
lying about that.
Is the title something we should throw around or keep close to the?
Oh, Aaron
Keep
just
close.
half asleep.
Wait, there's a title. You guys are magical. You're from another planet. Oh, I put it together. I'm so dumb.
No, don't insult yourself like that.
You're great.
If you can come up with all those puns.
Thank you.
What's your name again?
Cades.
He's the dopest of the dope bros.
And it's a pleasure to meet you all, Kingmakers extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Not willingly.
Aren't there supposed to be more of you? Like a lot
there's
more
like-
of you?
We're
Only
25.
six,
works.
but we don't know where they went.
There was some magic stuff.
Well, that's
Dun,
not
dun,
good.
dun.
I mean, there's a beacon over that way. And there's a couple more that way. And
Oh,
way
this
more
is-
that way.
Can you see
wait,
which
help
one
us
is the
find it.
closest?
Wait. I put out a map and point.
That does not help.
That's very helpful, Ashley.
Like mark it with.
He does just bang on the map like it's a musical drum and is not trying to be very helpful, but eventually he rolls his eyes and like laughs a bit. And he points at a specific spot and moves his finger minutely as if the dot is moving. And one of them is moving real fast in that direction, pointing to the shore. The other one's moving toward where you guys are moving toward the capital.
So we should go to the capital. Hey, you
We
want
should
to
go to
chill
the
with
capital.
us? So you
Go to
could
the-
be our like magic bud compass.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel I legally, as per Mr. Shadowhunter Knight would know, I'm not allowed to do that. Wink,
would it
wonk.
Stay with us?
wink, wonk.
Yeah. Of Mr. Shadowhunter Knight.
As long as he
this-
thinks that I will do the legal and right thing, right?
Right.
Right.
He has no reason.
We will
To make
deliver
sure.
him. We can deliver him.
They're
to where he's supposed
Kingmakers,
to
they're
go.
so trustful. You don't, yeah. Whatever. I have a job, I don't really care about all the other things. You're great. Anyway.
Guys, I just made a best friend.
Oh, why, thank you.
Great job.
But you were heading to the capital. Why ever would you want to go to such a grey place like that?
We want permission to go here, and I will point to the forest.
Why not just walk in? You're Kingmakers, who needs a bloody thing from an emperor?
Because we
We're
need
trying to go.
Emperors higher than kings?
Not Kingmakers.
Also, we kind of want to meet up with everybody else and gather
looks
more
like there's
information
Well, I
about
suppose,
this
yes,
world.
they all are heading very much away from the forest, although there is one group still in the forest.
So we go capital, forest, and then the others. Or I mean, we
Yeah.
go capital, forest, and then we drop you off. Wink, wonk.
Wink wonk.
I think saying wink
And
wonk-
then we go look for the others.
We have to say it out loud. This is an audio medium.
Wink, wonk.
So that's why wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
No, I just imagine your characters are saying it wink wonk, like in.
I
like,
mean, Cades is saying it out loud, definitely. He might not actually even be winking alongside actually saying it.
I eventually, after a conversation, literally, I throw my jacket on top of Aron's head. Go to sleep.
No, I'm perfectly fine.
Go to sleep.
No.
Sleep.
Can I?
Hey, Oma, can you maybe convince him to go to sleep somehow?
Is Aron
I
still?
have persuasion. I can use
Do
tactical
that.
persuasion.
Is
Oh,
Aron
He needs sleep. Huh? Yeah, he's not sleeping. He's tired, but he's not sleeping yet.
I mean, I'm sure
Adalai
all of
will
you guys are
do,
tired.
Tactical persuasion.
Yeah.
So you guys can nod off. I will keep that diligent watch.
And I will join.
Let's go to
Trust
sleep.
them to watch.
Oh, what do you mean? We'll be great. I mean,
And
Ern's
there's a
gonna be up
yeah.
too.
Yeah, there's
And he has
literally
to
a
keep
shadow
diligent
knight.
watch. That's his whole job.
So go to sleep.
Alright, fine.
Immediately
Takes
passes
like
out.
5 seconds.
So, Mattius, tell me more about yourself in your strange world of, what did you call it, Wisconsin?
Wisconsin,
Wisconsin.
I'm not actually from Wisconsin. I'm from Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah. So where I'm from, we have a country. It's called the United States. And there are 50 states.
That seems like a lot of work.
Yeah. It kind of is.
They basically govern themselves.
Yeah, states' rights was a huge issue for a really long time.
I go for a second. They only try to kill each other one
I'm not
time.
interested in your earthen politics. I'm interested in you.
Oh, I'm flattered. Yeah, I
You should
do...
be. You're quite interesting.
Mattius reels for a second and is like, oh, okay. And then is like, so yeah, I'm from Georgia, which is south in regards. So you have we have Wisconsin up here, and then,
I don't need. That's not important to me.
Okay. Georgia's just, it's hot and it's wet all the time.
Oh, that sounds horrid.
It's also like
Um,
the opposite direction, a very long ways away from Wisconsin.
Georgia has good peaches, though.
Georgia has great peaches. You guys should go to sleep though.
Nah. I will sit up
Like
early.
Adelaide, like little old lady mode, like smack, falls asleep.
Hits you with my cane. Now start being startled.
So,
Oh.
do you want like, are you asking like brief skim off the top, or is this like middle of the night therapy session?
What are you in for?
2 drunk girls oversharing in a bathroom.
That one is tempting, strictly because the idea of being drunk is very, very nice.
Have you never been
Love
drunk
the
before?
fact that there's like
Oh,
a
no,
scale
but my
that
power
you
can
use.
make other people feel drunk.
I don't really
After
want to
you.
feel
Laughter
drunk.
gets you high on life.
I do.
That sounds great. High on life. Don't make me high on life, please.
Oh, don't worry, I won't. My magic is very restricted.
Oh, that's no fun. From the reading I've done.
I mean, what's your favorite color? Mine's pink, as stated and shown. You look so
Does he
startled.
Does he still have his butterfly wings on?
No.
No.
Mattius is a little more unsettled than I thought, because Mattius has a phobia of butterflies.
Right, you do, huh? Yeah. The guy still has antenna, like a butterfly.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Is there any chance you? I don't want to be rude, but can you just like?
You look so uncomfortable.
I don't like butterflies.
You don't like butterflies?
I don't like butterflies.
What if I told you I'm a moth? Would that help?
A little bit, actually.
Okay, I'm a moth now. My wings are gonna be fuzzier when they come out. They're moth wings now.
Okay, I'm actually okay with
now
that.
moth.
So 2 drunk girls oversharing in the bathroom. That's my kid. His name is Ezekiel.
He's very cute. I asked you your favorite color and you just didn't answer. You told me you
I
were afraid
don't
of
ha- I don't
butterflies
have
as an
a
answer to
favorite
your favorite
color.
color. You don't have a favorite color! He makes a rainbow with his hands. Pick one!
I can't!
He shoves it in your face. Pick one!
They're all awesome.
Not acceptable. We'll find you out later.
Rainbow is my favorite color.
Not acceptable. We'll find your favorite color later. I'll just
Can I
wake
pick-
up every day with a different color and see which one you look at more.
Can I pick 3 favorite colors?
Sure. Are they yellow, green, and... Are they yellow, blue, and red?
No.
Are they green, blue, and red?
No.
Are they pink, purple, and blue?
Yeah!
How did I know?
It's a bisexual flag.
Yeah, I know. I had a feeling.
I thought you were going to go with, oh, these colors make every other color.
No. If we're doing the drunk girls oversharing in the bathroom, like, that's the first thing.
Okay. Oh, like you want me to overshare sexual preference with you as
Yeah,
well?
that's like
Okay.
that's how it works.
I don't know. People that laugh at my jokes. That's my standard. And I can make anyone laugh at my jokes. So honestly,
The bar is way too
way
low.
low.
Yeah.
That's kind of sad.
But I mean, Everins are so dour. They don't laugh at anything.
That's a good thing, ain't it?
No! It's boring as all hell.
Whole thing is jokes, dude.
I desperately miss the sound of laughter that I do not force other people to make.
Do not worry, we have plenty of that. I'm gonna look at Ezekiel. It never stops.
Children are great. They keep laughing.
Would you like to hear a song?
No.
Sure.
Baby shark do 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 do.
Baby shark.
What is a shark?
It's
It
a
is a
sea
funky
dog
animal.
with teeth.
Oh, that sounds viciously unpleasant.
Sea puppy.
Yeah.
Oh, perhaps that has to do with the last dog I meant was a familiar and we do not get along.
Familiars
Amen.
as a whole? Or dogs? Or just that
No,
familiar?
the familiar that preferred form was kind of dog-like in appearance. We did not get along.
I think it'd be cool to be a dog. Just saying.
It is not the fact that he was a dog that is off-putting, it's just the fact that we do hate each other on a fundamental level. I control laughter, he controls sadness and depression.
Oh.
We do not get along. I mean, I also control mania, but I tend not to use
You
that
don't
power.
want
It
it.
kind of makes humans unsettling to deal with.
Mania? Well, yeah.
Yes.
No.
It's
No, thank you.
strange.
Yeah, but I'm from Georgia, and then I got to move to Wisconsin for free and go to school there because I run slightly faster than average.
That's cool.
And I
Running
can
is
throw
nice.
things really far.
That is a useful skill.
Yeah.
He summons a ball. Throw this. That direction.
I hop off the cart and I shot put it.
It goes pretty far. He whistles. Nice throw.
Yeah. That's my thing.
He'll help you back on the cart.
Yeah. And my ex is crazy, but
I mean, how nice.
That's
Failed romantic
about-
relationships.
that's like my life. That's it. I'm not that interesting.
Oh, I beg to differ. You're plenty interesting. I've learned so many new things. I mean, I guess if I'm supposed to be oversharing as well, Cloudvale is boring. It's academia magic school. I'm not learning anything there. I'm there to look pretty. I'd wait for someone to graduate and then die, and then go back to Cloudvale and wait for someone to graduate, then die. And the cycle will continue in perpetuity until time ever ending. And all the humans get wiped out by Oracars, of which seems more likely every time an Oracar attacks. No offense, Shadowhunter Knight, you do your job valiantly. Can't argue with the truth. Oh, well, that just makes me sad. You're doing a great job. You deserve medals.
Yeah, medals. Many medals. Are those even more significant here than they are?
I don't know.
you wouldn't
I just see that
have a frame
most
of
of the
reference.
prouder knights that seem higher up in the hierarchy have more of those colorful little metal things on them, so I think they're important.
Oh, like a mark of status?
Maybe. I don't know. Are they a mark of status, Aron? Yes. Ah, there you go. Shadowhunter Knight.
You deserve many medals.
Many, many medals.
It sounds like a tongue twister.
Many, many medals?
Yeah. Many, many medals. Many, many medals. Many, 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 many
Many
medals.
models. Many
Many
medals.
models and medals.
As you guys are saying this tongue twister,
Uh-oh.
forevermore, we will pull back from our group of travelers to oversee something else on Althara. Past the barrier on the northern shores to a shadowy form just barely resembling a man. Behind him, a silver-skinned woman calmly plays a small harp, eyes closed as the Oracar surveys the horizon line. She speaks quietly.
We should be returning soon, Minos.
Just a moment longer, Kilkoa. I almost have it. She stopped strumming her harp and stood, snapping her fingers, barely paying it any mind as her instrument folded in on itself, becoming a blackened bow.
Is the song loud today?
The Oracar shook its head.
The only music I heard today was yours. Something else, then?
Magic, he said. A shifting in the air.
The prophecy, perhaps?
Perhaps, but whatever it is has weakened the barrier. Kalkoa turns sharply, letting out a gasp as she surveyed her leader.
If the barrier has been weakened,
The maddened would have heard it as well. It will not last much longer.
should we call the others?
Either we call them or they'd call us. It is becoming time to present a united front, to no longer show restraint.
Will we fight them?
He shook his head. Restrain those who listen too closely, perhaps. War would doom us all.
Will you try to get a Kingmaker's attention?
Perhaps. I know my brethren will. At the very least, they must know the full story before they make their decisions.
That wasn't what I meant.
I'm aware. You're asking if I'll make a bid for power. The Oracar makes a hollow sound that must have been laughter. It's not up to me. If this is a game for which there can only be one victor. It paused. I will not cheat to claim my prize. And with that, Kingmakers, Episode 3, timer comes to a close. I've been your Master of Ceremonies, and I will see you all next time.